All right, we have another horror prompt for today. So let's open up and see what the next one is. My voice went really high then. Well, as you know, I did zombie frogs last time with a collab with Chantal from Darkest Raven Design. Now we're going back in order. And the next one is do not open. What are some things that you do not open? This one could be a bit tricky. Do not open. Don't ask me why I just drew a jar that says do not open. I just had an impulse to just do that. But then how could we make that really gross? Like, I suppose you could have, well, I don't want to do a jar obviously, but if I was thinking of like in this way, I'm just trying to jog some, you know, some thoughts here. You could have some like blood oozing out or something like that. And like, yeah, you wouldn't want to open that jar, that's for sure. It'd be gross. These are just some things that are popping into my mind. Like you've got like electricity boxes, like the boxes out on the street that you wouldn't open because you could get zapped, the high voltage boxes. Just drawing some random lines to try and jog something. I feel like Mr. Squiggle at the moment. See what we can turn this into. No, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that. All right, I gotta stop being silly and focus. Having a hard time focusing today. Box. And have a box with some oozing stuff on it that says do not. Oh no, that's too boring. No, that's too boring. Way too boring. Okay. All right, let's get serious here. You have a box with something inside, or you've got like a monster inside something that you don't want to open. So you don't want to open something. Maybe, here we go. Just had a thought. Maybe we've got like this water tank or something, or you know, like a suspended animation type tank with a creature floating in there. And there is maybe some latch, and like the creature's like pointing to the latch going, come on, let me out, but like there's no way in hell. And it's like this really disturbing monster and maybe there's like some blood coming down from like the jar here in the box, like just coming down. So, you know, there's evidence that it's like taken other people, like it's fooled people to say, hey, come let me out. And then there's, you know, there's like, you know, bits of person floating around, and maybe there's a hand at the bottom of it. I don't know. Yeah, okay, I'm sort of thinking that way. Yeah, okay, like I'm sort of liking this idea of like this locked vat of like water, or you know, some sort of liquid, and then yeah, there's like a do not open sign somewhere, but like the creature's pointing up saying like, you know, come and help me, get me out. But there's evidence of a struggle from the last time someone has opened up the jar. So yeah, no, I like that idea, and I think that I will run with that, and we'll see. Well, I'll see what I can, you know, put that into and what I can come up with to make that a little bit more, you know, better. For the lack of a better word. So yeah, that's it. Now let's put that into action. I started on the tank that this creature was going to be in, and it took me quite a while to get that tank right to make it look decent. I didn't want it to be wonky, so I ended up getting the ruler and just ruling in those lines because, yeah, the last time I did this, and it was actually in Inktober, I did it with the hourglass, it did not look right. So yeah, I really sort of had to step back and look at all the angles and look at all, just look at everything to make sure it was even, because yeah, this could turn into a complete shitstorm of a picture. So the monster I ended up doing in this tank is sort of cross between, like, I don't know, like an eel and a mermaid and something else that's weird, and the Black Lagoon monster, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, it was just a combination of things that I just sort of came up with, and I really enjoy coming up with monsters like this. It's something that I really enjoy doing, is creating new monsters and new hybrid things all the time. I just love it. It's my jam. So the story behind this horror prompt, do not open, is this creature has been put inside this tank for obvious reasons. It is a scary, scary, scary thing, and it likes to do harm to people. So it has been put into this, what do you call it, tank. It's been filled with water to the top, and it's got a latch on it that stops it from getting out. Now, this thing has basically, don't ask me how it's gotten a bit of paper to write "help me" on it. We just won't think about that. And yeah, it's holding up this sign that says "help me." So what it's doing is, it's like when someone comes in and it sees it, it wants the person to feel sorry for it, even though it is, you know, it is just luring a person to their death. That's basically all they're doing. And this monster honestly thinks that it can pull the wool over the eyes of another human, because, like, when you see what's on the outside of this tank, you will find that anyone who goes near this thing is going to realize that opening the top of it is not a good idea. Now, all the pipes leading into this chamber tank thing is pumping it full of air to, like, keep air into this creature. But could you imagine being locked in a tank like this? As I was drawing this really, really, really played on my anxiety. It really did. Thinking about being stuck in a tank full of water like that and you can't get out. It's kind of like the similar situation of being stuck inside like a big suitcase or something like that, and you can't get out. Like, you just can't do it. And that would, oh yeah, no, it's even giving me anxiety now thinking about that. But yeah, I gotta try and not think about that now, because it's like, ah. Anyway, yeah, so if anyone goes and lifts this lid up, what she does is she will drag the human into the tank with her, and she eats it. And she's sitting there trying to hide a bone behind her butt there. There is an eyeball floating around with still got the, you know, the little eyeball thing cord attached to it. And there's a couple of fingers floating around in there too. So she's not fooling anybody. And if anyone opens that tank, they're an idiot. So they deserve to die if they open this tank, because all the warning signs were there. There is body parts on the inside, then they're human, and then as we get on in the video, I end up dripping blood down the sides of this tank. So it really does give the illusion of glass there, and you'll see it, like I'll drip it right down. And I was going to put some like white shine, but I don't know, I wasn't feeling it. I sort of think I did the job well enough with the blood sort of dripping down to portray like there is like a solid glass panel there, and also with the black, the subtle black lines I did that sort of come down from the bottom and go up from the top of this glass too. So I am really enjoying these prompts so far. It's really, it's just really awesome to try and really think outside the square of certain things, and see a lot of these prompts in the book are very sort of generic, and you sort of really have to think about it like a fair bit to be able to sort of work out what you're gonna do. And I really like that challenge. It really keeps my brain, you know, working and stimulated and thinking of different things, and yeah, it's just a really good thing to do when you get really sort of vague prompts, kind of like with Inktober. I found that Inktober was a bit of a challenge because a lot of those prompts were just really just vague as hell. But when you sort of like think about it from a different sort of perspective and try and think of different things with that word, a lot of things do come to you. You'll be surprised. And yeah, it's just a matter of digging deep inside your brain and yeah, just sort of letting those you know, thoughts sort of mull around, and you will come up with something. And that's what I like to do. Yeah, I do get a lot of inspiration just from my brain because I just think of some really weird shit most of the time, and that's the biggest thing. So yeah, I ended up putting moss on the outside of this thing just to show that this thing's been in there quite a while, and it's in a very sort of dark, dingy place and just away from like human eyes. I'll have a hashtag below in the description if you end up doing some of these yourself and you want to share them to me, and so yeah, I can see them. So, and then just let me know. So that is it from me. I am out of here, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.